Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss the poem Futility by Wilfred Owen. Wilfred Owen was born on 18 March 1893. He was one of the leading poets of the First World War and was also a soldier. He aimed to enlighten the American public about the severity of war. His anti war poetry was heavily influenced by his mentor, Siegfried Sassoon. Owen wrote approximately 80 poems. However, only 5 were published in his lifetime. Some of his major poems are Dulcet Decorumest, Insensibility, Anthem for Doomed Youth, Futility, Spring Offensive, Strange Meeting, etc. Futility is an anti war poem written by Wilfred Owen in May 1918 and published as number 153 in his collection, The Complete Poems and Fragments. The poem says war is essentially pointless and futile. Now let's move into the poem. It's a short poem of just 2 stanzas, 7 lines each. Move him into the sun. Gently its touch awoke him once. At home, whispering of fields half sown, always it woke him. Even in France, until this morning and this snow. If anything might rouse him now, the kind old sun will know. So the poem begins with an instruction. Move him into the sun. Move the dead soldier into the sun. Put him somewhere where the sunbeams fall on him. So earlier, when this man was at home, maybe in England, some far off villages, sun's warm touch used to wake him in the morning, reminding him of fields he had to finish filling with seeds, reminding him of the undone fields, reminding him of the works that he has to do in his fields. So, that soldier may have been a farmer, we don't know. Probably he was a farmer who awoke each morning by the sun's light, which reminded him to finish planting seeds in nearby fields. It always woke him up, even on the battlefields of France. And the speaker says, it was the same until this snowy morning. So, till yesterday, it was like this. Or till this morning, it was like this. Whenever the sunbeams touched him, he used to wake up. So, the speaker, before giving him up for the death, the speaker or the friend are trying to revive him. The friends of this dead soldier somehow wants to revive him. So the speaker says, or the friend of this dead soldier says, if anything can wake him now, the kind old sun will know about it. Because sun has a very long acquaintance with this young man. The sun had known him from the time he was young. So we have a sad picture here. Moving on to the second stanza. Think how it wakes the seeds, woke once the clays of a cold star. Our limbs so dear achieved, our sides full nerved, still warm, too hard to stir. Was it for this the clay grew tall? Oh, what made fatuous sunbeams toil to break earth's sleep at all? Now the speaker is giving a lot of justifications. He says, think how the sun lets seed grow as if waking them up, and how it allowed human life to spring from the earth. The earth was once a barren, cold planet. So here the earth is referred to as the cold star. So here the soldier is giving justifications for what he says. He says the sun is very powerful. It can wake the seeds lying under the soil. It was the sun who kindled life in this cold earth with its warmth. So the sun, so full of energy, can wake this dead soldier. The fellow soldier is so desperate and he's asking, is it too hard to awake or stir life back in this dead soldier, whose limbs were dearly achieved or precious, whose limbs were nurtured by his parents and loved by his friends, whose body still has warmth and nerves? And when this fellow soldier sees that nothing is happening, the dead soldier is not waking up, he is getting frustrated and says, was it for such an end or for such a death the clay has grown tall? So here, clay refers to the biblical story of how man was created by God out of clay. So the question is, was it for such an end this man was born and nurtured by his parents? Did life emerge from earth just so it could die? And earlier in the previous stanza, the speaker addressed sun as the kind old sun. But here, the speaker says that the sunbeams were fatuous. It was silly and pointless. So he's asking, why would useless sunlight have bothered to wake the earth at all and brought life to earth? Why sunlight took so much of pain to bring life into earth? If we are to die just like this, if this was the end. So there ends the poem. Now moving on to the themes. The poem shows the transient nature of life, the dehumanizing effects of war, which destroys everything senselessly, the psychological impact of war on soldiers, so on and so forth. The sun serves as a symbol in this poem. It symbolizes life and hope. Moving on to the title, it shows the uselessness and futility of war, which causes huge loss. It also shows the futile attempt of fellow soldiers to awake the dead soldier. The poet also deals about the futility of the sun's work, which has been fruitless or futile. So here there are three layers of uselessness. First, the futility of war. Second, the futile attempt of fellow soldiers to wake the dead soldier. And third, the futile attempts of sun, which has eventually become fruitless or futile. Now to conclude, the poem shows the death of a soldier and the futile attempts of fellow soldiers to revive the deceased. The poem discusses the pointlessness of war and helplessness of soldiers. He highlights the pity of war. The poem has three levels of meaning. The poem is also considered as an elegy, as a death song. So the first level is that it is an elegy for a dead soldier. The second level is that it is an elegy for the poet himself, because Owen was a soldier and he expects that he may die at any moment, so that he is lamenting himself. And in fact, he died at a very young age, at the age of 25. And the third level is that it is an elegy for humanity in general, and this shows the existential pessimism of life. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you understood the poem.